I'm going to be reading part one of Colonial Voices, Hear Them Speak by Kay Winters. Now, I mentioned to you guys that this book is not included in your backpack materials for Module 3. However, this is the read aloud for the first couple of weeks of Unit 1 of Module 3. And so I purchased the book, but I was only able to purchase it on the Google Play Store, which means I'll have to do the read aloud, but I do want you to see the pages, which is what I'm kind of scrolling through very carefully. This way you can see the ships better. Hopefully it's all more clear and vivid for you. I tried to enlarge it. You can see the harbor. That looks like little Ethan in one of the papers. Several of the papers, you can even see the word Boston over here. And we'll begin with The Errand Boy. Today is December 16th, 1773. Boston is about to explode. I'm Ethan, paper boy for the printer, messenger, woodchopper, runner of errands. My mother died when I was born. My father drowned at sea. Now I sleep above the print shop, live by my wits. No one times my comings and goings. Errand boys, like servants, are almost invisible. It's a good cloak to wear. I keep my eyes and ears alert, and troubles brewing. The Dartmouth, the Eleanor, the Beaver, crammed with tea, wait at Griffin's Wharf. Will King George and Parliament have their way? Will their custom men collect the tax? Will the tea company say who sells the tea? Let them try. The Sons of Liberty are counting on me. Off I go to slip in and out of shops and houses, share the notice about the final meeting at Old South, pass the secret to the patriots, and listen to the tittle-tattle from the loyalists. Midnight is the deadline when the tea must go or be taxed. What will happen now? Here's Ethan's first stop, the printer. I am the printer. My job is to keep folks informed. I write, edit, compose the type, operate the press. When my husband and I opened our small shop, news of the king's birthday, missing cows, runaway slaves filled our paper. How times have changed. I am a widow now, but I keep the press rolling. First Parliament passed the Stamp Act. The British soldiers occupied our town. Citizens were shot. I told each tale. Now Parliament and King George III have done it again. The terrible Tea Act. Taxes to pay without any say? Unfair, cried the patriots. But what do the loyalists want? And those who are in between? I've done my part, published the paper, printed the notice of today's meeting. Governor Hutchinson is the one who must decide whether the tea ships stay or go. What will the governor do? We see Tyler Thomas, print shop. And there's little Ethan with the papers on his errands. Where does he go next? Look at all that bread. Muffins. Ah, the baker. The big brick oven heats the room until we swelter, but bakes the bread with thickened crusts the town folk crave. I sift flour into a wooden trough and stir the batch. My apprentice needs 100 pounds with burly arms and practiced hands. Slowly the dough bubbles and rises. Like liberty, I say. Here's Ethan, making his rounds. He hands me a notice and shares a secret from the Sons of Liberty. King George may be surprised by what we do. I wink and give the boy a loaf to feed him on his way. The apprentice sweeps the ashes from the oven floor. I slide new loaves in on my wooden peel, shut the iron door, and close the damper. As darkness fades from morning sky, a yeasty smell perfumes the air. A new day. Fresh bread for sale. And there's Ethan on his way to the mistress of the dame school. She's running the school. The kitchen is my schoolroom. When sun is up, the children come to do their lessons. They join my Charlotte, Paul, and baby Benjamin. Abigail and Daniel bring firewood, part of my pay. Matthew, John, and Hannah have horn books round their necks. I start the day by reading from the Bible. Then we say rhymes to learn the letters A to Z. Paul's face turns red when we all chant, F, fool, the idle fool, is whipped at school. Yesterday he poked Daniel during spelling. I didn't whip him, but I made him wear the whispering stick all afternoon. Who comes? It's Ethan with news about today. I ask the scholars to repeat the time and place. Back to our books, we read aloud. Abigail knows the words. We clap. My heart sings, a special day, were it not for those 3 tea ships lurking in the harbor. King George does not give up, but nor do we. And here we go. More travels with Ethan. I see shoes. The shoemaker. Customers crowd my shop, walking wear so thin I never want for work. I measure the length of the foot, whittle the wooden last, mark it with my customer's name. 2 pieces of leather make the upper, 1 for the toe and 1 for the heel. I punch holes in the top for leather string or silver buckles, then cut and stitch the sole. Left or right, I make the same. The wearer stitches every day. Sometimes I pull a throbbing tooth for who has an aching mouth, an extra charge, but always I listen as I work. I do not share my views, don't want to lose my customers who differ, but times are changing. This tea tax must not be paid. Meeting today? My teeth are worn from so much clenching. Mayhap the time has come to take a stand. And now to the milliner. Mary Goodwin's millinery. I sell the last fripperies in my shop. Lace, fans, hats, velvet shoes, a scarlet cloak, silk flowers, a fabric beaded purses, muffs, mitts. Ladies look to me for fashion in these troubled times. I can make old look new by dyeing silk from pink to red, or freshen last year's gown by rubbing stains with bread. My ladies ask, this season, will the petticoats show? The shoe buckles twinkle with gems. Are cuffs of lace a nosegay at the waist? What stylish women wear in England or in France? And once the patriots come to their senses, my customers will sip tea in fragile cups while they chatter over shapes of skirts. What did you say, another meeting at Old South, about that tiny tax? I say, pay it, count your blessings. I prefer the king to a rabble-rousing mob. No meeting for me or any of my kin. We'll be unpacking pretties for the shop. Entertain me, the sailor's wharf. We're at the basket trader. My ancestors and I were here for many moons. Before strangers stepped upon their shoes, they bring sickness we cannot cure, make promises they do not keep. They turn our trails into roads for carriages and carts, claim land, plant fields, build cities and towns. They shoot our fowl, catch our fish, stalk our hunting ground, force us to move on. Now they quarrel with each other like warring tribes. And over tea, we will not fight their battle. It matters not who wins or loses. our people have already lost. I do not live in town, but come and go to the tavern to help make soap or candles. I barter willow baskets for kettles, needles, knives. My moccasins walk between two worlds. I pray I will not stumble. The tavern keeper. Since my husband died, I am mistress of this place. I cannot let my sorrow show. A gloomy landlady loses custom. I smile and take the traveler up the stairs to see the bed he'll share with strangers. My daughter serves the table where guests gather. They toast the king, sit, sup, then share their views. They bring the news from whence they've come. The townfolk tarry, read the paper, talk of tea, taxes, and today. I won't be there. We should be thankful to get the English tea, I say. Such a tempest. I check the chicken, stir the soup, taste the turnips, prod the cook, clean the counter, plan the menu. My husband taught me well. Cash is what I take for bed and board. Trust is not the innkeeper's friend. I'm going to stop reading of part 1 and I'm going to go to the back of the book, scroll all the way through these pages, and just show you a few things that you're going to need as information for tomorrow. What's really nice in the book, as you can see, they do give you some historical notes about the colonial period and all the jobs like the errand boy, the printer, the baker, the school mistress, the basket trader, the shoemaker, the tavern keeper, the milliner, the midwife, the clockmaker, the barber, wig maker, silversmith, the apprentice, the blacksmith, the slave. That's not good. And there's a glossary with all of these words that you probably want to spend some time learning about as we're reading. So I'm going to kind of go slowly through. That starts with the apprentice, chamomile, committee of correspondence, fripperies, hackle, indenture, involuntary apprenticeships, journeyman, last, limner, mantua maker, monopoly, peel, Sons of Liberty, Wag on the Wall, Whispering Sticks, Writing School. And one last thing I want to show you, keep going, is Boston 1773, Ethan's route. We can see all the places that Ethan is going and what times he's actually going and arriving at the locations in the order of the locations. And we'll even get to see the map of where he's traveling. From place to place, business to business, there's even some places on the water. All right, I hope you enjoyed part 1.